Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Cutting a promo, ladies and gentlemen, and for this week's episode, I'm going to be doing a cornucopia of different stuff, and it's all pertaining to what's been going down in the past couple of weeks with WWE, and I think I'm at a breaking point with them once again. It's always a time in which we tend to have to go separate ways once again, not for a long time, but just I think we need a break, WWE. Yeah, this is not working for me right now. There's so much stuff that's gonna go down, but just to give you guys a heads up, and for cutting a promo this week, we'll be discussing the new announcement of the deal, I guess, with ESPN about going forward in 2026. What's going to be happening with the PLEs, as well as my thoughts about what they're doing with the current roster lately, what's their feelings with the fans' connections with wrestlers, as well as what occurred this past week at SummerSlam, and it's gonna be a jam-packed cutting a promo. We're gonna be releasing the video portion of the first part on YouTube, and the rest for you guys who are watching on YouTube right now, you guys could listen to the rest of the episode on the podcast end. But let's just go into my disgruntledness of what's going on with today's WWE. I'm tired of the squeezing every bit of currency out of the fans' wallet. Now, let's be fair, fans can do what they want. They don't have to buy into it. It's your choice. It's your money. You earn it. You get it. But I don't ever want to hear anyone sit and complain that the economy sucks. We're still paying too much money. We're paying too much money for milk or eggs, or now it's going to be cherries. We're just basically in dire straits in the streets, but yet we're filling up arenas for WrestleManias, SummerSlams, and whatever pay-per-views are coming up, right? Or PLEs, right? Any major events is what we're doing. And now with the announcement that WWE will be releasing PLEs on ESPN in 2026, if you don't have any cable providers or YouTube television with ESPN, you'll be forced to pay a subscription of $30 a month. It's just, so now we have to watch PLEs on ESPN. We're paying money for Netflix to watch Raw there. If you don't have cable, you're gonna have to get the CW app, and you're still gonna be able to watch SmackDown on Peacock. I guess they still have it available. Why do we have to bounce all over the streaming universe to get WWE? Why? It was so much easier when we had the network. I know they probably were losing money with that network, but is this easier for them to do? Just to sit there and just spread it across the universe to find for us to play a scavenger hunt to find shows. This is ridiculous. It's gotten to a point to where how much greed is needed for this company. I find that we as a fan base are now stretching ourselves thin and our wallets are even thinner for it. I saw somebody make a comparison on a Facebook group page and was like, yeah, but didn't we used to pay like $50 for pay-per-views? And I saw somebody comment, go, yeah, but we used to pay gazillions of dollars on computers, on home computers. But we're not doing that anymore. Remember when flat screen TVs were ridiculous? Like you needed to give up 3 pints of blood and a kidney to get one. Now you don't even need to wait for Black Fridays. You can pick up a flat screen TV for like a 75-inch for like $200. Why should I have to be doing the same thing with WWE, where I have to go back to the old ways of watching the PLEs or just wrestling itself with WWE? This gives me a reason to just sit there and say, you know what, maybe I need a break. Maybe I need to just start watching other stuff that's not WWE. I could watch NXT more. I could get more involved with watching TNA. Maybe I could return back to fully watching AEW again. I really can't do this dance with WWE right now, especially if they're not listening to the fan base. And I say that because we heard the resounding displeasure with the fans when Sami Zayn beat Karrion Kross at SummerSlam. We hear now that Austin Theory has been removed from the roster, the active roster page. Who knows what's going on there? Maybe he's still injured. Maybe there's possibly some upcoming news of a release. Maybe they're going to start doing more releases down the line. It's a romance that I need to probably just put on hold for a little bit, because we had such a great prosperous future with the old man out the building, and then bam, we've gone back and reverted to our old ways. Some say it's from the creative side. Some say it's Nick Khan. Some say it's TKO. Who knows where it's coming from? But I know where it's not coming from. It's not coming from the fans, because the fans aren't getting the satisfaction that they want. And we're still seeing the same individuals in the same mix. Did we really need Brock Lesnar to come back? Did we? Was that something that we really was looking forward to having? Am I really more? Am I perturbed that this occurred? Yeah, not because of what you think. It's not because of what people have their crosses to burn on WWE's lawns about his involvement with Vince through the years and the allegations and such, which apparently lawyers must have went through everything with a fine-tooth comb, because for them to bring him back, they must have known that they was going to get some kind of scrutiny, but yet nothing occurs. Like he must be in the clear. Why would you bring somebody back who would be so controversial and such a problematic individual outside of the ring, unless you knew that he was going to be clear, or he is clean? But did we need it? WWE released this TV series, Unreal, about the creative side, and I've already stated I'm not watching that shit. I'm really not. And I gotta say, people will say, well, Jay, you do know wrestling, and of course I do. But I still enjoy a steak, and I don't need to know how it got on my plate. If I'm at a restaurant, I don't need to know what the butcher did to get it there. I don't need to know how the cook served it to me. Just serve it to me. Just bring it to me. I'm good. I'll enjoy it. I laugh because I'm sitting there watching SummerSlam with brother AJ, and we're at the bar, and there's a woman with her friend who approaches the bar, and she's sitting there to pay her check, and she looks up and sees that some of the other patrons are watching wrestling, and you hear her go, "Oh, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Why would people watch this?" I lean over to brother AJ and I go, "Yeah, this will be the same woman who watches Love Island or any other tacky reality TV shows." But what's really stupid is the fact that with this Unreal thing, you're actually using the platform to not to say to expose the business side of wrestling, but from what I hear, it's more of a I don't know. I guess it's a kudos and a declaration of love to Triple H. I don't know. Shout out to Keyshawn with Shea and Sons, who his opinion of it was to say that that this could possibly be a way of bringing back kayfabe. If that's what it is, that's genius. If it isn't, then what is really the point of doing this? Honestly, what's the real point of doing this? I've said for the longest time that we need to see the emergence of these young stars, these young individuals who have the talent, who have the ability to put together promos and put together matches, but they're not giving them the opportunity to do that. And I fell to that whole feeling of, okay, let's use the older guys for now because that'll bring eyes back to the product. People want to see that. Let them see certain rivalries or matches or build-ups that they hadn't seen in a while. We're already 3 years in, 2.5 years, 3 years in. We're still doing this. We're still bringing back the older guys. We just saw Goldberg in a retirement match that nobody cared. We still are not elevating our young talent. Sorry to say, but I'm a Punk guy. You just won your championship, and got buried. No, it's not buried. Not buried. He got screwed by Seth Rollins. Same guys in the mix, but you have individuals who are young, athletic, are more capable of putting together the possibilities of the backing of the fans, but you're not giving them the opportunity. You're not doing it. You're just still sitting on your laurels and still banking on the old. I'm just frustrated with what's WWE doing these days. We just looked at SummerSlam, and even the booking of SummerSlam, regardless of what the win-loss records are, I'm not even talking about that. Just booking the matches in itself. One night was heavily loaded than the other. There wasn't a balance 2 nights at all, and especially the second night, excluding the Dominic AJ fight, was basically a whole Extreme Rules night. You could have spread those matches on night one. Every time they do something well, we get shit on 3 times. And this is what I'm saying, that the the landscape of WWE right now, is it to chase the almighty buck or to get the almighty fandom that you wish to have? It's as though that they really reverted back to the Vince model and just said, you know what, whatever you put out there, they'll complain, moan, and bitch about it, but they'll come back. They'll always do. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think that I'm going to really be investing on WWE stuff too much. Like I said, I'm just going to start opening my palate to, or returning my appetite for other areas and such. It's a shame because, once again, it's such a talented roster that they have. There's such possibilities. And, like I mentioned, Karrion Kross, who on said night with Sami Zayn on SummerSlam, to me, looked like Triple H. Had the look, had the attire, had the hair. You couldn't tell me that wasn't Triple H. Guys like Austin Theory's gone. It's pushed to the side. For what? A Logan Paul? And not to take away from the fact that Logan Paul can't work, because he can work. But come on. If I'm a wrestling fan, I'm gonna take Austin Theory. But once again, they're not booking for us. They're not catering to us. Guys like Grayson Waller, who are just now being tied to the New Day. Okay. That's cool. We're still just sitting there believing that, they're going to listen to us. It'll happen. And daddy doesn't come back with the cigarettes and the milk he promised. It's just frustrating. They continue to do the same old bullshit. Same old. And now with all the subscription stuff, now with all the riding with the old, bringing in Cardi B for what reason? I don't see why I'm gonna sit and watch this as often as I do. I'll check in, maybe watch more highlights than I usually would, because I was finding time to watch the SmackDowns on the Netflix. Maybe I was like, maybe I don't need to watch Raw on Netflix. Maybe I don't. Maybe I could catch that. Maybe the highlights will work for me. Maybe. I'm tired. So tired. I did a whole episode one time about breaking up with WWE once AEW came around, and what still resonates is true. If you got good pussy, you're gonna go back to good pussy. But if you're a horrible person, the pussy ain't worth shit. And the WWE is just continuing to be that worthless person who will just give you one night of good sex out of, I don't know, maybe every 4 months. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna like more focus on doing other things. Maybe I'll go outside and touch grass for a little bit. I don't know, but other than that, for you guys who are watching on the video part of this, thank you for checking in, and make sure you check us out on all the social media outlets. Check us out on our like and group page. Make sure you check us out on TikTok. Make sure you check us out on everywhere you get Turnbuckle Tabloid, and please like and subscribe. Be a part of the vibe and continue your support of the show and let people know about us as well. So other than that, for those who are watching on YouTube's, we're out of here. Check you guys in a sec. In a sec.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.